The world is too loud, drowning in a sea of unnecessary noise and empty chatter that leads to nowhere but distraction and ultimate failure for most people. But the true predator never announces their presence. They move within the shadows of silence, waiting for the perfect moment to strike with precision and power. You are losing the battle before breakfast because you choose the chaos of noise over the clarity of inner strength and deep strategic discipline every single day. The silent predator does not seek recognition or external validation from the masses. They only care about one thing: the final and undeniable result of their work. Welcome to the manifesto of the ghosts who rule from the shadows. Those who understand that true power lies in what remains unsaid and what is done. Strength is not found in the roar, but in the calculated stillness that precedes the storm of action and the heavy weight of great personal achievement. Today, we strip away the illusions of fame and vanity to reveal the 6 Stoic disciplines that will allow you to dominate your game without sound. The first discipline is to master the darkness. While the rest of the world is still dreaming, the predator is already sharpening their weapons for battle. If you cannot win the battle against a warm blanket, you will never possess the strength to conquer the destiny that awaits you in the world. Stoicism begins in the early hours, in the cold and the quiet, where there is no one to impress but your own internal judge and conscience. The dawn is a sanctuary for those who seek to build an empire. It is the time when the mind is sharpest and distractions are completely absent. Physical discipline is the foundation of mental clarity. Every repetition done in the dark is another brick in the fortress of your future self and legacy. Do not wait for motivation to find you in the afternoon. Create your own momentum when the world is still silent and the air is biting. Map out your conquest before the first ray of sun hits the ground. A predator without a plan is just a lost animal wandering the wild. These quiet victories build a momentum that no obstacle can stop. By the time others wake up, you have already won the most important daily battle. Light follows the work, not the other way around. Earn your sunrise through the discipline of the hours that nobody else sees or even cares about. Move forward with the confidence of a man who has already conquered his greatest enemy, the desire for comfort and the lure of extra sleep today. The second discipline is the purging of words. In a world of noise, being the quietest person in the room is a supreme and hidden power. Every word you speak is a leak in your energy reservoir. The more you talk about what you will do, the less you actually ever achieve. Observe the wolf. It does not bark to prove its dominance. Its presence and its actions communicate everything that needs to be known by its rivals. Make your moves in silence. Let your progress be the only noise you make. A hidden plan is a plan that cannot be easily sabotaged. The Stoics knew that speech is often a vanity. We speak to be noticed, to be liked, or to feel important. But none of these help. Practice the art of listening. When you listen, you gather intelligence. When you speak, you only repeat what you already know to be true right now. Build your empire behind closed doors. Don't explain your vision to people who don't have the eyes to see it or the heart to understand. Withdrawal is not weakness. It is a strategic retreat to focus on what matters. Privacy is the ultimate luxury in this modern and overexposed digital age. Edit your life and your language. If a word doesn't add value or move you closer to your goal, let it die in your throat today. One powerful action speaks louder than 1,000 hollow promises. Let your results create the ripples that define who you truly are in this world. The third discipline is the creation of an inner fortress. The world will try to shake you, but your core must remain absolutely and completely immovable. It is not what happens to you that matters, but how you choose to react to it. Control your response, and you control the final outcome. A predator does not let emotion dictate their next move. They see the crisis for what it is, a neutral event that requires a perfectly logical solution. Develop the amor fati, a love of fate. Accept everything that happens as if you had chosen it yourself, and use it as fuel for growth. Your mind should be a sanctuary that no one can enter without your permission. Do not give the keys to your peace to anyone else. Build your character like a fortress of stone. Storms will pass, empires will fall, but the disciplined mind remains standing through all the difficult ages. When you feel the urge to react with anger or fear, pause. That pause is where your freedom and your true power always reside within. Stay true to your principles when the winds of opinion change. A predator knows their direction and does not deviate for anyone's shallow approval today. Welcome the obstacles. Each challenge is an opportunity to test the strength of your fortress and the resilience of your inner spirit against the world. To be strong in adversity is the mark of the elite. Let the world crumble. You will remain standing, silent, and ready for even more. The fourth discipline is absolute anonymity. Transformation happens in the shadows, far away from the prying eyes and the shallow judgments of the modern world. Social media is a trap for the ego. While others are posting their workouts, the predator is actually doing the hard work that matters most. Kill the distractions. Every notification is a thief of your focus. Disconnect from the digital noise to reconnect with your ultimate and true purpose today. Build your empire in the dark. Let the world wonder where you went and what you are doing while you forge your greatest masterpiece alone. Avoid the scene. The most successful people are often the ones you never see at the parties or on the red carpets of this life. Genius requires isolation. You cannot hear your own thoughts. If you're always listening to the opinions and the gossip of people who don't matter, become a ghost in the system. When you are unpredictable and unseen, you are impossible to track, compete with, or even bring down by enemies. Keep your goals locked away like a treasure. Sharing them dissipates the energy needed to achieve them. Only show the world the finished result later. The path to the top is a lonely one. Embrace the solitude, for it is the only place where you can truly know your own heart. Silence is your shield. Anonymity is your edge. Use them both to build a life that speaks for itself without saying a single word today. The fifth discipline is voluntary hardship. If you do not choose to struggle, life will eventually choose a much harder and painful struggle for you. Seek the cold. Seek the hunger. Seek the fatigue. By practicing discomfort, you become immune to the pains that break ordinary men and women easily. Hardship is the forge of the soul. Just as the river shapes the stone, the challenges you choose will shape your character into something absolutely unbreakable. Comfort is a slow death. It makes you soft, weak, and vulnerable. The predator knows that growth only exists on the dangerous edge of suffering. Train yourself to need little. When you are not a slave to your desires, you are a master of your own destiny and future fate. Push past the point where your mind tells you to stop. That extra mile is where the silent predator separates themselves from the average pack. You are both the hammer and the anvil. Strike yourself repeatedly until all the weakness is beaten out and only pure strength remains in you. Carry the weight that others refuse to touch. The burden you bear today will become the strength you rely on tomorrow and for the future. Cleanse yourself of the need for luxury. A man who can be happy with nothing is a man who can achieve anything he truly desires. Scars are the medals of the disciplined. Wear your hardships with pride. for they are the proof that you have truly lived and fought well. The final discipline is to let your results speak. You do not need to shout your greatness when your work is already visible to all. When you build something of true value, it creates a gravitational pull that people cannot ignore, regardless of how quiet you have been throughout. Be the artist who disappears into the background, allowing the masterpiece to take center stage and tell the story of your dedication and great skill. One groundbreaking achievement is worth more than a lifetime of self-promotion. Focus on the quality of your output, not the quantity of your online followers. Success is the ultimate revenge against those who doubted your silence. It is an explosion that even the deaf will eventually have to hear clearly. Excellence is a habit that requires no explanation. When you operate at the highest level, your reputation will precede you in every room you enter. Build bridges that last for generations. Leave a legacy that stands as a silent monument to your discipline and your refusal to settle for less. True dominance is felt, not heard. It is the steady hand on the wheel and the calm voice in the middle of a raging storm. Only those who are insecure feel the need to boast. The predator knows their worth and lets the world catch up at its own pace. Command respect through your presence and your past victories. This is how the silent predator dominates the game without ever uttering a single word today. The journey is long and the path is narrow. It requires a level of commitment that most people are simply too weak to even imagine. You have a choice today. You can be the noise that fades into the wind, or the silence that shapes the very fabric of reality. Which one will you choose? Will you continue to seek the applause of the crowd, or will you find the strength to walk completely alone? The predator within you is waiting to be unleashed. But it cannot grow in the light of vanity. It must be forged in the dark. If you are ready to commit, if you are ready to disappear and rebuild, leave your mark. Declare your intent to the world right now. Write, "I build in silence," in the comments below. Let this be the last thing you say before you go back into the shadows tonight. Subscribe to join the ranks of those who choose the hard path. Your transformation starts this very second. Do not look back for anyone else. The game has begun. The silence is yours to master. Now go forth and conquer your world without making a single unnecessary sound ever again.